I guess we are. See? Yeah. Let's see. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you and your family are keeping well. So tonight, I thought I'd come back on, and I decided to go with a little twist, and invited my precious daughter,
Hi everyone, my name is
Mena, to join me in this session, and we will be looking at parenting, but this time, like I said, with a twist, parenting from a teenager's eyes. So we're looking through the lenses of a teenager to see what they see, isn't it? Yeah, to kind of get a feel of what they think of us, or what they think of our actions, or what they think of the things that we do when we're relating with them, or when we're correcting them, or basically just when we're relating with them on all fronts. So you're welcome this evening, and do have a nice evening with us, is it? Or do enjoy it, or do what?
Do enjoy.
Do enjoy it. Okay, so Nana, you're welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank
You're
you for
most
being here.
you're most welcome. I'm always proud of you.
Thank you.
And so do keep it.
Okay.
Am I being a mommy now?
No.
No. Okay.
Fine.
Okay. So I thought you were gonna say yes, and then be like, okay. So yes, parenting. And there's always this thing with teenagers and parents. It almost seems like we just don't.
We don't see eye to eye.
We don't see eye to eye. No, it's almost like parents are meant to be some kind of demons,
Yes.
or
They don't get where we're coming from.
they don't get it.
Yeah.
And we don't get where teenagers are coming from. It's almost like
A miscommunication.
what exactly is yes, communication. So definitely communication is very, very important. So yeah, let's start from that. Communication. What can we do to make it better? Like, or what can we do differently?
Say parents should try listening more to us.
She said we should listen more.
Listen more.
Okay.
And try and put yourself in our shoes to see where we're coming from.
Okay.
Because you were once like us as well.
Okay.
And I would say try and be not like, I would say try and be acceptable, like accept what we do, know where we're coming from, and just not condone it, but like just be like,
tolerant.
I see where you're coming from, but
tolerant.
you could do it a certain way.
Okay, so it's more like we should put ourselves in your shoes and try to understand where you're coming from, so that we're not harsh or rash with our treatments. Or is that what you mean? Okay, so we have someone saying hello. I think I missed an ADM Chioma Kalawale. Thank you. ADM Naomi Matthews says hello GB. Naomi here from Benin Republic. Wow. Is it Benin Republic? It's called Benin Republic. Benin Republic.
Yeah.
Like, I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. How are you, and how's everyone in Benin Republic? Yes. So I have Mena here, and we're looking at parenting from a teenager's eyes. You know, what do they see? Do they see monsters, like, or do they see those dry, boring people, or just really? So I just want to find out from her, like, just see how much I can get out of her, so that we want to get it right. At the end of the day, they are our children, and we don't hate them. We don't hate them, and we want the best for them. So let's keep going. So we're talking on communication. ADM Savage Abasade, how are you doing? ADM Candy Floss, how are you? She says, who's the lady with you? This is my precious daughter, Mena. Yeah, so ADM Naomi says, great, thank you. Great. ADM Temi Itunu says, well done, thank you. And ADM Bisola says, hello G and Mena, compliments to you both.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you. So yes, Mena and I are discussing parenting, and the first thing she talked about was communication. So there seems to be a miscommunication between us and our teenagers, and so that's what I need to find out. How do we get that right? And one of the things you've said is we need to put ourselves in your shoes and try to be understanding of that. And by doing that, then we can deal with the situation better, so that we know that you're not evil-minded people, kind of, and we can empathize with you as well as the situation. Okay, but then so what can I do if my child won't talk to me? So my child, I'm trying, as a mom, I'm trying to talk to my child, and my child is not talking to me. What will I do? Because they just think I'm this boring old mom. I don't know what's up, like what the slangs. I don't know what's cool. I probably just fixed in my own 80s and 90s and early 2000s kind of fashion and music, and I'm just not cutting it for him. So, but how do I communicate with my child then?
I would say if your child isn't talking to you, it's mainly not your fault. Your child might need some space. They may be going through some things and they just need time off by themselves, and they might not know how to communicate it to you, so they just keep to themselves. But I would say if you really want to try and talking to them, try making a conversation, be friendly, be acceptable, and just try and be calm with them.
Okay, so she says we must be calm with them and
try and comfort. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Try and.
What else would it just be calm with them and understand that understand they might be going through stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what? Yeah. Because I have, I have a list of questions here that I thought I didn't want to forget anything, and I wanted to go through that with you. So like when they're going through stuff, when you say like you're a teenager and something is going on with you, and I'm your mom, I'm trying to ask you what's going on because I'm not in school with you. I'm at work, and especially with the gadgets and all that, you guys have your own world and where you do your own things. How do I break that wall? Because as a mom, I'm concerned. I'm worried if you're not talking to me, and then you have something going on. I want to help you get through that. So if I give you your space then, and you're just wrapped up in your own world, how else can I reach to you without necessarily getting in that space? I understand that you want some time to yourself, but how do I help you? Do I just keep quiet and say nothing and act like nothing is going on, or do I drop in a word or two of advice or a word of encouragement, or do I just pretend like nothing and wait for you to come to me?
I would say as a parent, at least try and make a conversation with your child at least once a day. Like try and make a routine to talk to your child at least once a day. Get to know them, get to see what's in their mind, get to see where they're coming from. And if there's like, anytime they're talking, try and pick one thing from what they're saying, and then you'll start to know them better.
So it does really boil down to communication, and that's talking to your children regularly. So which means that the work should have been done, kind of getting that from what you're saying, like the work should have been done even before they became teenagers. So you should have had that. Yeah, it
builds them from your adolescence upwards. So if you're building if you're doing it from the little age of like 8 years old, try to talk to your child every single day. They'll find it more easier after getting like a teenager to talk to you, because obviously as a teenager we grow, we have physical changes that we don't like to talk about. So yeah.
Okay, so but if we do talk, so not to wait till you're a teenager. You really have to have. There has to be a relationship there.
Yeah, it builds up
before you become a teenager to be able to get on well with your teenager.
Yeah.
So, moms, we have a lot of work to do before they become teenagers.
It doesn't start from just one day.
Yeah,
it grows over time, and as you do it more and more, they become more comfortable with talking to you about it.
So the work starts now, whatever now is for you. So if now is 1 year old for you, get at it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if now is 8 years old, get at it. Like, just get at it, because Eddie Naomi just said that bonding is impossible. It's impossible without communication. I'm sure she means to say without communication. Yeah. Yes, it is impossible. Absolutely. Communication is really key. We cannot do anything else without it. Okay. So let me see, what else do I have in here? Okay, so I have here that I know that teenagers respond to humor, yeah, and just to try and see the funny sides of discussions and all that. But I also know that what we would find funny or what would make us laugh, a teenager will probably just roll their eyes at it because they don't get it.
Yeah.
They just don't get it. They're like, what are they talking about? Like, and all the adults are laughing, but the teenagers are like, okay,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so what sort of humor would teenagers
It's like,
generally appreciate?
it's funny because like modern day is changing, technology is changing, so
Yeah.
things you'd laugh about, it's obviously going to be different from things we're going to laugh about
Yeah.
because our times are different.
Yeah.
So I would just say,
So we kind of need to
you need to like the songs we're listening to now.
we need to get into those
y-
things.
y-
Okay,
kinda-
sorry. I'm just
not
yeah,
into it, just like
like
relate from like every like slang we're saying, just relate to what we're saying so you can
Okay.
understand.
but if I don't understand it and I'm not say like that means I have to learn.
Yeah.
Why do I have to learn your slang?
Do you want to be old?
But I am old.
Wait, then you're not going to relate with me. You're going to be lost.
So I have to learn your slangs and then I have to listen to your kind of music. I just literally have to be able to relate to everything that you relate to.
It's hard. I know it's hard. Like parents are busy, they have work,
Yeah.
but just make a little bit of time,
Make a little
and it'll
time.
go a long way.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's right. Actually, it's a sacrifice that we have to make as
Yeah.
parents. I'm just doing that to just emphasize on the importance so that others who are watching as well will understand. That's why I'm kind of like asking those questions just to make sure that we clarify that that's what teenagers really want, so that we're not assuming that that's what you want.
Yeah. And also, it's not just the parents' fault. We teenagers also need to teach our parents. We need to make time with our parents as well.
Yeah.
Like we can't just keep blaming our parents. We need to like make an effort as well.
Yeah.
To relate with you as well.
It's okay. It's both ways
it's a
then
two-way
at the
thing.
end of the day. Yeah.
And it will pay off in the end if you start now.
Yeah. So okay, so yeah, it's a two-way thing, and it just both parties have to
Work together. Yeah.
too. Okay, so my next question then would be, okay, how do I make connection with my teenager? Now, this is looking at me. I didn't know this early enough, so I didn't put in as much work. Or for some reason, I lost my child along the way, and we don't have that connection. We don't have that bond. Then how do I make that connection? Because I'm trying to get closer to my child, but because we haven't had that bond, they are pulling away from me. Or maybe it's just because of peer pressure or some influence in school or whatever, they are pulling away from me. What can I do?
I would say make every effort to spend time with your child, even if it's just like watching TV or eating breakfast together. Just something you can do together. Like you should have at least one thing you can do with your parents, even if it's just like eating at the dinner table and just having a chat. I would say just like make one thing you can do with your child.
Okay, and that actually is my next question. And you just touched on it. That I was going to ask: is it important that we eat together as a family? Why should we eat together as a? But you just sort of touched, like, even if it's eating together, and that seems like
that's actually I would say not just like for teenagers, as a family, we all should eat together because it's like, first of all, it's the first meal of the day. You talk about your plans, what you're going to do for the rest of the day, and it's also again communication. Like talking to your kids, your family about what you're going to do. And it's also getting to know each other one-on-one as well.
Okay, so just sort of, it just gives room as well for bonding, bonding and getting to know each other more and sort of tuning into each other. And so again, we're back to communication. You just can't seem to run away. Like you can't get away from. You can't. It boils down to communication. So at the end of the day, then, if communication is sound, you will have a good relationship with your child.
It's the foundation.
The foundation. She just said it's the foundation. Yeah, and it really is. It really is the foundation. So let me see other thing. Okay, so the next question is that all we seem to ever do is argue. So I'm saying to my child, you cannot watch TV for 5 hours. I need you to study. And my child is wondering, like, what? Why are you stressing me? It's only Christmas holidays. I have 2 weeks. I study tomorrow. And I'm saying, no, you have to study today because every bit counts. So do some study today. And they just don't get it because they're like, can I just get a break? We only just got off school last week. Why can't I just even take 2 days off to rest and play?
Yeah.
You see, we're arguing from two different points of view.
Yeah.
So how do I handle that if I was having
say,
that kind of problem? Like, we just seem to argue because our ideologies are different and what we want to.
From that point of view, I would honestly say that the parent is right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they want what's best for you. So as teenagers, we only think about ourselves and what we want, but we should kind of think of where our parents is coming from. They've been in our shoes. They know like the experiences they've gone through. So they know at the end of the day what it comes down to. So I would say, like, for that question, I would listen to my parents because they've been through it and they know the experiences and they know what's best for us. So I would listen to my parents on that.
Okay, so it's also boils down to the fact that the teenager also needs to cooperate with their parents.
Yeah.
But you know, not all teenagers are sensible enough to know that, and not all teenagers are mature enough to know that. Especially because at that point, you're really all about me, myself, and I, and you just want this old woman or old man to literally get out of your face because your friends are cool, they understand you, but mommy and daddy just don't seem to understand you, like really literally. So in that case, then would it be okay for the parents to avoid getting into arguments with their child and just let them have their way? Or how do you speak to a child and make them?
I would say come down to our level.
Right.
Be firm, but also like talk to us from a loving point of view. Like for example,
be firm.
Yeah.
Let me hold you on that. So you do like us to be firm.
Yeah.
Okay, so moms, did you hear that? They want us to be firm.
Yeah, you can't let me get away with everything.
They want us to discipline them. So
yeah, you can't let me get away with everything. Otherwise, I'll be like, oh, she doesn't even care. Yeah.
Just imagine that. They think we don't care when we let them get away with everything. And sometimes they guilt trip us into wanting to let them get away with everything. But
deep down, I'll be like, she didn't even really care. That's why she let us do it. Yeah.
Okay, moms, did you hear that? Let's take note. Okay, we've got them. Okay. Good. So let's go on. Yeah,
okay. I would say be firm.
Yeah, they got us. We got you, rather.
Oh, okay.
We got you. Yeah, we got you. Yeah.
Okay.
So be firm.
Yeah.
Be firm.
Yes.
Like, be very firm.
Not very firm, but be firm because we need some discipline. We can't get away with everything.
Very firm.
Firm.
Very firm.
Firm. And don't be harsh on us.
Very firm.
Talk to us from a loving point of view as well. Yeah. Like, encourage us. Tell us, like, you can do it. I'm proud of you. And we'll listen to you on that.
So that means you appreciate positive affirmation and positive appraisal. Yeah. So, yeah, moms, when they're not acting up to our expectations or to what we expect them basically to be more gentle with the criticism. Or if possible,
but still encourage us as well.
Encourage them. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For that little secret. Be firm. Okay. Now, how can I get to understand, or how can I get my child to understand that I only ask questions because I care? So I'm asking you all these questions about your friends, about school, about, everything, what's going on in your space, in your life. I care, that's why I'm asking you. I don't want to be a nuisance, I don't want to be a bother, just because I care.
I see where you're coming from, but from like my point of view, I think that, oh, you're asking me all these questions because you don't trust me. That's how I would receive it. Like, you're kind of prying in my space. Yeah, like, that's how I would see it. I would just, like, tell the parents, like, you can ask questions, but not too much. let things slide a bit,
Okay.
but still ask questions.
So it's more like knowing where to draw the line.
Yeah.
So it's okay to ask, you know,
Yeah,
but not don't overdo.
Don't overdo. Yeah, to be like, oh, I don't really trust you. Like asking specific questions.
Right. So it's important to teenagers then to have a sense of or to have a sense that their parents trust them.
Yeah.
So moms, they need us to trust them. So yeah, I think that's the first thing that's somewhere. Okay, yeah, we're back on. So yes, they do need us to trust them. They need us to make them feel that we trust them.
Because can I just say this point?
Yeah.
As parents, like as you're asking questions, prying, you're sowing seeds into our minds that we didn't even like think of. Yes, like when sometimes parents ask specific questions and we're just like, oh, I didn't really think of that. Now you're just like planted that in our minds and they're like, oh, so that's what they were thinking I was gonna do and I didn't even think of that.
And then you want to go and try it then?
No. No. Yeah. But yeah.
But I'd say a mischievous child would probably want to go try it then.
Yeah, but a good child would probably be offended by that because they'll be like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. Now she just put this in my mind. And I wasn't even like thinking about that at all.
So a good child will be offended, but a mischievous child would do it. Like, oh gosh, she just gave me a good idea. Okay, so it means parents need a lot of wisdom.
Yes,
a lot of wisdom. Yes. We need to know where to draw the line, which means it just means we need to educate ourselves as well on a lot of things. And
it is hard though.
It is hard. Yeah.
We'll work together.
We'll work together. We'll take that promise on behalf of for all teenagers, on behalf of Mena.
Work together.
Keep fingers crossed. Okay, so let's see. So I have here that my teenager is very influenced by friends and what their friends think. Is this normal? So is it normal for teenagers to be influenced by their friends? And
it is normal, but as a parent, you should educate your child into knowing the type of friends they should have. They should keep around them, like especially from the background of home you're coming from. Your child should already know that, oh, this is the type of friend I shouldn't be hanging around with.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the child should know who they are.
Yeah.
Really.
And even if they're influenced by that, I'd say a child that comes from a good background or a disciplined background would not even think to do that. They'll just know their friend is like that, but I know who I am.
Okay, so moms, we do actually need to do a lot of work before they become teenagers. Yeah. That's what I hear. Yeah. And do you know that it actually has been scientifically proven that the first 6 years of a child's life is the defining years of their life. Like that's the foundation of their life. So most work actually should be done in the first 6 years of a child's life, and then you sort of build on it.
Yeah.
So the kind of the child's personality, the relationship that you're going to have with that child, most of it is built or developed in those first 6 years of their life. So moms, we didn't. If you're lucky and your child isn't 6 yet, then it's time to put you've got time to put in work. But if they're over 6, it's never too late. It's never too late. I'd say you need to start it and be consistent.
Yeah, start early. Know your child before their teenage years. That's all I'd say.
Know your child before their teenage years. Yeah. So just know them.
Because when they become a teenager, they start developing, forming different emotions. So I would say build on that from a young age, and as they grow, it'll be easy to talk about it with your parents.
Okay, so thanks for that. Another nice deep there. So my next question is, right, all our teenagers have phones now. I mean, or the greater percentage of teenagers in this generation have phones. Yeah. Even younger kids. Should I look at your text message?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
I have nothing to hide.
Okay, but for teenagers generally,
I'd say it's down to trust again.
Okay.
It's like, why are you prying in my phone? What do you want to see? What do you want to know?
Yeah.
But personally, I wouldn't be offended by that. I'd say go ahead. Check what you want.
Okay. So I'd say that maybe that would determine, that would be dependent as well
On the child.
on the child and the
Yeah.
relationship you have with
Yeah.
the child.
And also the way you communicate with your child, or let me see your phone, or oh, I just want to see your phone. It's two different types of tones you're
Yeah.
giving your child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the tone counts, the choice of words as well.
And how you present it to
and
them.
how you present it to them. Okay. So let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, I just missed one. Okay. If my child is really withdrawn, do I get another adult to talk to them? Does it help if, say, there's Auntie Jane or Uncle Joe that my teenager loves so much? Should I speak to them to reach out to my teenager if I'm not able to reach my teenager?
If there's a person, your child is close to in your family, even closer than you, then I would say it's okay. But you should know what they're talking about, and you should know what's going on in your child's mind. Yeah.
So you must be able to trust the adult yourself and trust
that you're letting talk to your child.
Okay, so don't
not
throw them
just
to just
anyone,
anybody.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to trust the adult and trust that they would represent you well,
or counsel them well as well.
Counsel them well, and they will get back, give you feedback.
Get back to you. Yeah.
Okay. So how important is it to talk to my child about relationships, and at what point should I start to talk to my child about relationships? Because that's the age when those things started kicking.
Yeah. I would say the earlier the better. Even if it's just for safety reasons, the earlier the better. Just open their mind to it. Let them be cautious about it to prevent anything from happening.
So the earlier,
the better.
The better. So I'd probably say the age that you're starting them will determine what you say to them and how you say it. Okay, so moms, you've heard it from
ADM Mena.
ADM Mena. To be.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've heard it from Mena, and yeah, I don't know if anyone actually would have asked
a question.
Yeah, if anyone had a question, or probably would have gotten the line ready to take calls. But maybe I'll come back with Mena again, and maybe the next session then we'll have the line open for calls and get people to talk to you, maybe. So yeah, I'll come back again with Mena some other time, but for now it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yes. So thank you so much for tuning in.
You guys for watching.
I hope you've enjoyed the session with Mena, and I hope you've been able to pick one or two things. So I'll be back again. Like I said earlier on, I'll be doing a couple of videos before the year runs out, and so definitely do watch out. I'll be back again before you know it. So do take care, and lots of love to your family, and don't ever forget that
your child loves you,
and I love you too. All right, so you rock, I rock, we rock, ADMs rock. Do take care, and I'll be back again. Bye.
Bye.